I had a bad performance tonight. That's all I'm really focused on. I wasn't feeling too good, so I'll live with it. It's okay. I came here, got the victory, and that's all I wanted to do.
Shakur Stevenson's highly anticipated fight with Edwin De Los Santos left the entire fight world disappointed. Yeah, fans had their fingers crossed for an epic clash, but all they got was a total stinker, and the blame is on Shakur. And he's finally speaking up about what went wrong. So without further ado, let's dive straight into Shakur Stevenson breaks his silence after the worst performance. Get this, despite winning the WBC World Lightweight title, Stevenson faced criticism and boos for his lackluster performance. The three-time world champion quickly came to his defense and said, "I had a bad performance. That's all I'm really focused on. I wasn't feeling too good, so I'll live with it. It's okay. I came here and got the victory, and that's all I wanted to do." Simply getting the victory just isn't enough for fans, Shakur. When they tune in to watch a boxing bout, they expect a close fight, with drama. Not what they got when Stevenson stepped into the ring with Edwin. The fighter added, "I just didn't feel good. I didn't feel good before the fight. Honestly, I had already told myself that if I feel like this in the ring and if it's not going well, I'm going to make sure that I box and get the victory." It doesn't end here because Shakur has a lot of damage control to do. His fight was nothing but disappointing, and the fight world isn't going to stop slamming him for it. Because let's be honest here, no one saw that coming, especially not from Shakur Stevenson, who was on a career high coming into this fight. Now, when I say this was a bad fight, first of all, I really mean it. The crowd was booing from late in the first round and never really stopped, because nothing much ever happened in the bout. It was just 12 awful rounds of non-action. If you take the word from Edwin, he was just as surprised as the fans, because just like all of us, he was expecting Shakur to give him a run for his money in the ring. De Los Santos believes that his opponent didn't have his head in the game and was unwilling to engage during the entire contest. He said, "We all know what happened. He came for a track meet. He didn't come to fight. I showed that I am on a higher level because he never stood and fought like he does with other fighters." Even though Shakur took the victory home, fans can't help but look at Edwin as the better fighter out of the two. Now, Shakur knows what he did in the ring, and that things went south for him, so he didn't come on record to make excuses for it. This was a smart decision from his side, because making excuses would have only gotten him more slammed by fans. Critics asked him if he had a problem with his left hand, to which the athlete replied, "I don't get nothing to say about that. I don't make no excuses. It happens. We go through a lot as a fighter. I'm good." It's still unclear why Shakur wasn't able to put on a show in the ring, and "I just didn't feel good" isn't enough for the boxing world. Come on, it just isn't sitting right with fans, and they want answers. After all those months of training for the fight, what went wrong? Shakur tried to shake it off by giving his opponent some props for the fight. He said, "He's got some punching power. He's got good little defense, and he's a little tricky. He grabbed me on the inside and stopped me from punching. He's a good fighter." But this did little to nothing, and fans couldn't care less about how good Edwin was. They just care about how terrible Shakur was. This bad performance wasn't only bad, but it was so bad that it took away from Shakur's win, and the fact that he became a three-time world champion. Yeah, no one, absolutely no one, was talking about his new record, and it didn't make any buzz at all. The only thing on everyone's mind was Shakur's terrible performance, and that's the only thing that made rounds on the internet post-fight, and it sparked a reaction from some of the greatest names in the sport. There's no denying that this was the worst fight of the year, and let's not forget that 2023 saw some of the best fights in the history of boxing. I'm talking about Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr., Tyson Fury versus Francis, and so many more. So watching a fight that almost had us all sleeping just wasn't it. Take the word from Ryan Garcia, who was pissed and wanted his money back. The boxer said, "Imagine going to this fight for Formula One weekend. I would ask for my money back and go straight to bed. That's how sleepy I'd be from being there." Yeah, here's the crazy part. A lot of people skipped Formula One weekend for this bout, and God were they disappointed. David Haney also jumped on the bandwagon to share his 2 cents, and he was even harsher. Get this though, Haney was negotiating to step in the ring with Shakur before he sealed the deal with Edwin, but now he's grateful talks broke out between the two. He said, "Should have offered this bum 10%, I was being too generous. Stop that scared narrative. Nobody was ever scared of that bum. He wanted clout. That's all they use my name for." Get this. When negotiations didn't work between Shakur and David, Shakur went on and told the fight world that David was scared to fight him, and that's why he didn't put ink on the contract. If anything, Shakur should be grateful he didn't step into the ring with David, cause looking at Shakur's current form in the ring, Haney would have schooled him. Rolly Romero had it coming with a savage comment, too. He took to social media and wrote, "This MF invented the cure for insomnia." Now, if there was a pro who was hella disappointed, it was the man himself, Floyd Mayweather, who's like a mentor to Shakur, and was expecting a lot more from him. No, he wasn't ringside, but even at home, Floyd could barely stay up to watch the fight, and that's how boring it was. But Shakur didn't stay quiet when his idol questioned his bout. Come on, there's a lot to do after giving fans the worst performance of your life, and Shakur started by apologizing to Money Mayweather. He said in a video, "I offer my sincere apologies to Floyd Mayweather for the disheartening display during the match. It was not my best performance, but I promise to work harder and rectify my mistakes." Shakur is finally starting to open up about this fight, and he's ready to move past it. The athlete said that despite being the worst bout on his resume, this one taught him some valuable lessons, and he has vowed to improve. But hear me out, this boxer will have to start from the ground up because what we saw of him wasn't what pro boxers do in the ring. That was more of what YouTubers or influencer boxers do when they put on gloves for the first time. Shakur is a pro, and he isn't just any pro, he's one of the best out there, so fans and pros both expect more from him. Now here's the big question. Can we hold our breath on him improving? That's what the fans are wondering. Is the beast that we're used to watching in the ring still there? Well, if you want to take Shakur's word for it, he says he's going to make the comeback of his career. Shakur said that he'll work on a lot of things and come back. Now, after that terrible performance, you'd expect Shakur to be short in opponents, but looks like he's got it all planned out. Or well, at least he did. Before the clownery that happened in his fight against Edwin, Shakur said that he believed that Vasily Lomachenko will want to fight him next, after he secured the vacant WBC Lightweight title, which he did successfully. But it's fair to wonder whether Vasily would still be up for it. I mean, we all saw what happened, right? And not a lot of boxers would want to waste their breath stepping into the ring with Shakur after that freak show. He's got more names in mind, though. Yep, you heard that right. If Lomachenko turns down the challenge, Stevenson has other opponents in mind, such as Raymond Muratalla or Frank Martin. But let's be honest, none of these fights would be as big. Shakur was already disappointed when Vasily straight up refused to fight him on November 16th because he was Shakur's first choice, and Edwin was simply back up. That must have hit some sore spots for Edwin. I smell new beef in the fight world. But get this, Lomachenko has decided to take time off after his disappointing defeat against Devin Haney last May. It's worth mentioning, though, that he has a reason to fight him, and it's a pretty big one. Yep, I'm talking about the lightweight title. He's got some bait to get opponents in the ring with him despite his horrible fight with Edwin, so there's still hope for the boxer. He just needs to come back with fresh techniques and honestly learn some better excuses for putting on such fights. What are your thoughts on everything that went on in the ring in Shakur versus Edwin's fight? Do you want to see him step into the ring with Vasily next? Make sure to let us know in the comments. So there you go, Fight World, that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you next time. Until then, peace out.